Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Kent Lutzen. At least 26 people are dead after a mass shooting at a church in Texas. Police believe a single gunman was responsible, and they say that the suspect is also dead. CBS's Courtney Zubowski is in nearby Stockdale, Texas, with the story.
Between 40 and 50 people were attending Sunday services at the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs this morning. At about 11:15, witnesses say a single man with a gun walked in and opened fire on the congregation. As many as 4 people were reportedly wounded. About half of them were killed.
At least at this moment in time, there are 26 lives that have been lost.
The gunman reportedly fled the scene in a vehicle. Police are said to have pursued him north into Guadalupe County. That's where the gunman was killed. It's unclear if he was shot or if he took his own life. The incident prompted a massive response from local, state, and even federal law enforcement agencies. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security have already joined the investigation. Sutherland Springs is about 35 miles east of San Antonio. Today, one person described it as the kind of place where everybody knows everybody, including the people who were killed today. Courtney Zubowski for CBS News, Sutherland Springs, Texas.
Back in Montana, police are investigating the standoff at a Billings sporting goods store that led to the suspect's death. Officials still have not identified the man. Chief Richard St. John said he believes he died due to the gunfire from police after 9 hours barricaded inside the store. We'll receive more details in a press conference set for tomorrow at 9 a.m. Cleanup has begun at the Big Bear Sports Center, but it's unknown when it will reopen its doors. The store suffered significant damage to the entrance. Switching gears to weather, there are 2 separate winter weather advisories in effect across western Montana. Let's head over to our Storm Tracker Weather Center with meteorologist Russ Thomas. Russ.
Thank you, Kent. That is right. We have one that is ongoing, actually 2 now that are ongoing. And the reason why is because the one in the Missoula Valley just started here the last several minutes. Now, the Flathead Mission Valley, this has been going since yesterday evening, will continue through 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see snowfall totals about 2 to 5 inches expected. Higher elevations expected to get maybe even a little bit more than that. Marias Pass maybe up to 8 inches. As far as what we're seeing in the Missoula Bitter Valley, about 2 to 4 inches of snowfall by 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Roads will be slick as that road gathers. Again, please be aware of that, and we'll have more coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Russ. The Frenchtown Rural Fire Department has been busy this weekend. They say they normally respond to about 1 to 2 calls in 24 hours. However, yesterday that changed. They responded to 9 calls, one of which was for an overturned semi that had been carrying apples. The crash occurred on I-90 at mile marker 65 going eastbound. When emergency responders arrived on scene, the semi was leaking diesel from its refrigeration system. Another accident occurred on Deep Creek and Southside Road. A vehicle slid down a steep embankment 200 plus feet. In order to reach the vehicle, responders set up a rope rescue system. Once they reached the vehicle, it was unoccupied. According to law enforcement, the driver had gotten himself to the hospital. Public Information Officer Mel Holtz says bridges and corners are the biggest concern during the winter.
The other section of the roads, looked okay, so it gave people some kind of false sense that they were okay when they were actually coming up on some black ice.
Despite the more than usual calls, Holtz had a big thank you for all the volunteers. Colder temperatures are in the forecast, and that means your pets could be at risk. MTN's Kenneth Webb dives in on how to protect our four-legged friends from these harsh conditions.
If it's really too cold for you, it's too cold for your dog to be outside, and certainly for your cat. So in the winter, it's always advisable just to keep cats indoors.
If you decide to bring your pets outdoors while it's cold outside, here are a few tips on what you need to prepare for.
For short-haired dogs, having a coat or a sweater is useful because they just don't have the warmth from their own coat.
There are many types of coats and sweaters for dogs, so picking out the right one is crucial for your dog's size.
For 0-degree temperatures like coming up next week, number 1, don't be outside too long, but a coat like this would be sufficient.
There are also other ways to keep your four-legged friend safe from the cold.
Protect your dog's feet. You can use booties.
Dogs that have never had them, it's pretty funny to watch them walk for the first time.
And you can also use petroleum jelly or sprays that prevent ice from building up in between their toes. The other important thing is increasing your dog's and cat's food intake in the winter, because they're burning more calories if they're spending any time outside. Make sure that indoors they have a place where they can dry off and warm up, like a heated bed.
For one dog owner, he tells us the importance of preparing the dogs for colder climates.
Naturally being high energy, it's good to keep the dogs active in colder climates, and it's important to have them prepared for the elements.
So remember to keep our pets safe from the colder temperatures ahead. Reporting from Bozeman, Kenneth Webb, MTN News.
Earlier this fall, the University of Montana announced that it would not be re-signing more than 30 of its lecturers' contracts. With reprioritization in the works, lecturers are still uncertain of their future at UM.
You know, they aren't tenured, so I mean, they were always in sort of a slightly precarious position, but there was always a feeling of like mutual respect, I think, and I feel like some of them really felt like the university had just turned on them and they didn't understand why.
According to Banville, even after contracts were extended, there is still a lot to figure out. After the university finishes its reprioritization of programs, there could be a need to fill more of these positions, or there could be a need for more cuts. Despite the uncertain circumstances, some of these lecturers continue to put everything they have into educating their students.
We're all kind of numb, walking around numb at that point thinking, huh, and then you process it and talk to family, and you think, okay, if this is going to happen, I'm not going to crawl into a hole. I'll be the best I can be. My plan for what happens if is to stay and make the change from within, teach our way out of the mess, and happily do it.
There will be a final meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m. on campus at the Gallagher Business Meeting Center. Throughout the year, the Fort Missoula Historic Museum collects book donations for their annual book sale fundraiser. And once again, the book sale at the Historical Museum was a huge success. Since the sale began on Thursday, they have raised over $12,000 for the museum. Museum Executive Director says that they received between 40 and 50,000 book donations and had to create an overflow area in an adjacent building. The increased growth and turnout has been really motivating for museum staff.
It's been wonderful. The community has really come out to support this. I think folks kind of tend to look forward to this sale now, so every year they have it on their calendar and they come out. It's an opportunity for them to give back to the community through supporting the Historical Museum, but also, let's be honest, to get some really great books for a really inexpensive price. I mean, we have families that come in that, you know, for $20 can buy enough books for their family for the entire year to keep their kids and to give them new things to read, and I think that makes me really proud of us as an organization.
Pardon me. You can go to the museum, takes book donations year-round, and will even pick them up provided they have more than 6 boxes. You can reach the museum online at www.fortmissoula.org or call 406-728-3476. And coming up after the break, if you're a history buff, you might want to stick around because we'll take you to Deer Lodge in the state prison. Did former inmates plan to escape work? Find out next.